One of the most efficient ways how you can drastically improve your game development skills is by dissecting source code. So over here I have a nice side-scroller-ish like project, and I just want to show you quickly what we have here. I'm going to go in stage and play stage 2. We are going to see right away in the beginning that some enemies are going to be spawned, and after these enemies are spawned, we're going to have a boss that spawns with them, and then they are going to start attacking us. But what's cool about this project is that the boss, which is this little girl over here, look at that. So it's a more advanced boss. It's not your typical boss that you see in tutorials or in smaller projects and whatnot. This is basically a game that can be published. I mean, polished a little bit with better assets and stuff like that, but overall the gameplay is really hard, and yeah, I cannot even pass this. You know, I cannot pass this level, let alone going over here and passing this last level, which is crazy because only bosses are attacking you. So on stage 9 here, we're just going to have bosses attacking us. Look at that. And what I like about this game is I said, look at how difficult it is. Look at the attacks of these bosses. Now we have another boss over here. Look at that. So I don't know how anyone can pass this, but my goal here is that we go through the source code, and I want to see how these bosses are created and how we can, or what we can learn from that. So the first thing that I would do here is I would pause the game right here, and I would go here in the stage, or better yet here in the scene, because I want to get my hands on the player here. And here he is, player ship, because I want to go here inside of the player. So here we have the player health damage. I want to attack, or not attack, I want to find his health. Here we have real health, and I want to, first things first, enable or disable the player from dying. So over here, health -1, okay, so what I'm going to do here every single time after we, deal with health or the player is dealt damage, I can either comment this out and then the player will not deal damage, or I can go here and simply say real health is equal to 100F every single time, and then the player will not die. Of course, we need to test this out, so I'm going to go back here and just make sure that the player will not die, and we need to close the game and then rerun the game. And this is how I approach a new project that I don't know. This is useful if you are freelancing. Even if you work in a game studio and you want to improve your skills and yada, 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 whatever, or you simply found some project, there you go. You see, now the player is not taking any damage. We do have effects, so the player seems like he's being damaged because he's blinking when he is touched, but this is what I want. I don't want player to die because I want to take a look at all of these bosses and see how they are created. You can also go here inside of the script. So we have here the scripts folder, and then from here we have enemies, and let me just see. This is the first time I'm going through this script, so I have no idea where everything is here and so on and so forth. So damage handling, movement, okay, here spawning. As I was saying, this is useful even if you are working in a game studio, because this is how you will enhance your skills. If you're looking something to do online, for example, I don't know, you want to create an Assassin's Creed-like game and you have no idea how to create that climbing effect. You find a project that has something similar, and then from there you can just open the project and you can inspect it and see how it is done. And you inspect it like this. So over here we have the bosses. So there you go. I already see that we have boss 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do is, let me see here. So we have enemies. Okay, these are the scripts. Let's go into resources, prefabs, and enemies. And here we go. So here we have boss 1. There you go. This is the boss 1. I'm going to open the prefab and let's see what we have here for the boss. So we have here boss 1 shoot. I'm going to double click on the boss 1 shoot. We also have over here boss or move left. So let me just click on that. So this is the movement. And as you can see over here, how the movement is done, I'm just going to move the code online. So here we are getting the position of the boss, so the current position. If position X is less than the X stop, then we're going to get the component. Okay, this is something that I would not do. I would rewrite it a little bit better. So let me just go here and I'm going to close the game, and I'm going through the source code. As I said, this is my first time going through the source code, and again, I'm showing you how to spot things, how you can use things that you would fix, and so on and so forth. The way I would rewrite this, because it's in the update, I will not use get component in the update. So basically, I will simply say here private move left, and here I will say move left. And then inside of the awake, I would say move left is equal to, and it's the lowercase one. And I will use this get component from here in order to get that. And then from here, instead of using it like this, I would simply say over here, there you go. And from here, we can enable it, disable it, and so on and so forth. Over here, we have vector3 velocity, then multiply that with speed, position minus equals rotation, and there you go. This is how the movement is done. For the shooting, which is the crazy shooting that we just saw, because you saw how difficult these bosses are, and it's really hard to go or to beat that, except if you can just have health at 100 like I did. But going over here, I can see that, so sometimes people write weird code, in one line. I mean, that's okay, depending on how you structure, which coding standard you use. And you set that from the beginning. If you are going to name your variables with lowercase, uppercase, underscore, and so on and so forth, that's all cool. But I'm just telling you that so that you will know in different projects, you will stumble upon different versions of code, because people code differently. And that's why I hate when people get in the comments like, oh, this is not optimized. Says who? Says who? If the game runs, that's okay. So over here, as you can see, we are using the so here, if I is equal to 0, then I plus plus. Basically, is this using a loop? Yeah, here you go. So let's see here. Actually, it's in the update function, not in a loop. So it's inside of the update function. It's using a cooldown timer, which is basically going to prevent the boss from shooting like a madman, all the time. And anyways, how would I approach this in order to see how, and look at that. So look at the complexity of the code. Sometimes the code is complex, sometimes, whatever, but you can still learn and have or get ideas how or what you can do. So, okay, else if I is not wave delay, then we delay. So it's an interesting, interestingly how everything is structured here. Basically inside of the update, it's not using a loop, and depending on the cooldown timer, so it's using the wave delay and cooldown timer, subtracting the delta time from it, and then it is using that to shoot. So let me just go back here inside of so I'm going to go here, hit the play button. And let me just see here if I can have, okay, I don't have my default layout. I need to create the default layout for here. So let's go into the stage 9. And again, take a look at the bosses that we have here. So this particular boss, this is, let me go see here. This one is boss 4. So here we have boss 4, boss 3. So the boss is already getting here. So let me just see here, blowing shot. So this is another script. How, or a different way how we can shoot. By the way, even if you're not using the start, I would delete it, because even though it's empty, it still is a burden on the game. So it will slow down your game. It will, the loading time of your game will be slower, especially if you have, I don't know, thousands and thousands of scripts. So just remove that. So I'm just going through, things that I see inside of these scripts, what you can change, and so on and so forth. So from here, also go find game object with player. I will also change that as well. These are minor things that can be really easy to change, but what I want to see here, look at here how this is. So this bullet is, created a different way than this one. So look at here how we are creating this, and over here the 30 degrees bullets. Okay, this is, or this 30-degree bullets, it says, is because look at how, depending on the degrees where these fireballs are going, and I cannot move because I changed something in the script. You see here, now we have this, unknown behavior missing, and what I need to do is basically reclose and open the game again. So how would I dissect all of this now that I found what I want? Basically, I found the scripts that are making the bosses shoot and how they work and so on and so forth. So how would I approach this is from here, changing some things, whatever you want to change. If you, for example, want to set this cooldown timer to a higher value, so currently he is set to 0. And let me just see here, minus equals, if it's less than or equal to 0, and we have the player, and the player is not equal to null, and here the distance. So here we have the distance between the, is the required position. Then it's equal to the fire delay. Let me see, the fire delay is 0.5. So basically it's using this fire delay to set it to the cooldown timer. And this cooldown timer is then responsible from here for the rate of the shooting. Over here for the quaternion, look at how the quaternion is being calculated. So here we have the rod quaternion identity, which is equal to 0. Euler angles transformed. So we're getting the angle of the boss plus the vector 3, and from here 180 on the y, j multiplied by minus 10 plus angle. Now sometimes you will see these calculations inside, whatever. So here you see this calculation, j multiplied by minus 10. What does that mean? You cannot really know until you go here and, for example, let's say multiply by minus 15. Now I will have to go back here, and I'm using this easier script because I don't want to go through this one and, dissect it. My idea here is to give you an idea how you can do these things, and then you can do this on your own, and then you can break down these source codes on your own. And for example, now it will be very easy for you to create this same effect of a boss in your own game. You can just go extract these scripts. You can then play with them, same as what I did right now. So over here we had minus 15, or actually minus 10. I set here minus 15. Let's see what that would do. So let's go here and see if that will change something. Basically it is. Look at how you see now where these fireballs are going. So they're going even behind the boss. So they're going even behind the boss. What you can even do here, you can name this variable. So you can give it a name, I don't know, whatever here. Let's go here and see what this is doing. So Euler angles, transform Euler angles plus vector 3. So bullet degree calculator or bullet degree threshold. So I can say, for example, public float, bullet degree threshold. And that can be minus 10, which is the initial value of the initial value that was used here. So now I can simply pass that here. And what I can do, I'm going to move this on the next line. And what I can do now is I can go directly in the game, hit the play button, and go, as I said, directly in the game. So stages, and then from here, stage 9. And now I can select this boss, because he cannot even kill me, so I don't know why I paused the game. So I can select the boss here. Let me just see if I can find him. So boss, and here we have boss 4. And on boss 4, on his, let me just see, blowing, here it is, bullet degree threshold. Look at that. So currently it's set to minus 10. If I set it, let's say, to minus 20 now, so look at where it is shooting. Let's say I set it to 20. And again, there you go. So you can see different ways where it is shooting, where the bullets are going, and yada, yada, yada. So minus 10 is some number that is allowing this calculation to make sure that these bullets go in these ways. So look at where they are going. So, and let me just take the boss 1 and 3 and just remove them here for a second so that we can actually see the only boss, which is this one that I'm interested in, to see where he is shooting and where his bullets are going. So that's one of the things. As you can see right away, I saw how you can change the direction of the bullets, which is cool. Again, as I said, you can just extract this script right now and you can use it for your own game. Of course, you would have to take these bullets as well. So I can go here and select these bullets. So let me just see where they are. Bullet, boss, 17. So there you go. And I can take this blowing bullet, and this is what the bullet looks like. So this is blowing shot and this is blowing bullet. So from here, it is, also using a cooldown timer to create and destroy a bullet. So create bullet will create a new one, as you saw. When it, bursts, it creates a new one, and they create more and more bullets and yada, yada, yada. So there you go. This is how you can just briefly go inside of script and just change a few things and see the outcome. And this is what I'm telling all the time. So let's try here. I'm going to take this one. So let me just go here. I believe that's boss 1. So is it? No, boss 1, so boss 3. I'm going to remove boss 4 and 1 and take this boss over here. So I'm going to take a look at now the shooting of this boss. So I have selected him, and let's go here. So the move left on him is now currently disabled, damage handler, okay. So here we have the 3-shot long, and he's moving up and down, as you can see. So you can go here inside of the script, and you can right away see how he's moving depending on, so if it's going up, you can see we're using transform position plus equals vector 0 here, maximum speed multiply with delta time, and then here we are clamping basically, so we have the Y range up to where the boss can move, and this Y range, I assume, there you go, it's set up here. Over here we're testing the negative Y range, and that's why this boss is going, if I pause the game, as you can see, it's going up and down. So that's the only feature where this boss is going. Of course, you can change that. You can, add this move left. Let me see if I add this move left. It's not working. Okay, so we cannot. We will have to go inside more deeply and see what's actually happening. And look at that. So we have even more things happening. Is this from this boss? I don't know. Anyways, let me go back here inside of the script because I want to see this blowing bullet and how, actually not the blowing bullet, but let me just go here. 3-shot long. This is the one that I want. So this is how this boss that we currently saw is shooting. So again, going here, it's using the cooldown. As you can see, a pattern here. All of these scripts are using this cooldown timer, which gets me to the point that you can create a base class that will have this functionality, this base functionality for the shooting. And then you can, based on if you want to shoot this 3-shot long or blowing shot or whatever shot, you can then just use other classes that will inherit this class and then just add those bullets and tweak a few settings to have your desired outcome. Anyways, over here again, so we're using different degrees, so using quaternion identity as well as in the first one. So here in the blowing shot, where we played with the angle, where we played with this right here. So you can also play with that here. Changed a few things. This is what I'm preaching all the time in my Game Dev Pro inside of Lazy Game Dev. This project is part of Lazy Game Dev, by the way. So you can access this project, you can see all of these things, you can just take them out. So you can take these things, as I said, and simply plug them inside of your own project. But my point here is that you can play with these things. So depending on what you want to see. If you want to just have 2 bullets, okay, deactivate these lines of code. Simply use comments and deactivate them. Change here a few stuff. Maybe change here a value. Instead of 0, add 50, add 30, add whatever. You can always create these variables as public ones, place them here, and then from the gameplay, you can just select the boss, and from here, you can change those values. So here we do have some values. Angle is 20. Let's say if I set the angle to 50, let's see what's gonna happen here. Maximum waves, it's 7. Let's say if I set the maximum waves to 15, then the boss is firing even more. Look at that. So now he's firing more rapidly. If I set the maximum waves to 1, let's see how the boss is going to shoot. So look at that. So the boss is now shooting. Look at that. So only 1, and there you go. You see? And by the way, as I said, you can also open these, you can select these current ones that are on the screen. They are destroying me, so we cannot see very well because of them. So let me just redo this. Unplay it and play it. So turn it off and then play it again. Let's go back here in the stages and stage 9. I'm just going to wait until the boss appears. So the other one, boss, so over here, boss. So we have 1. Come on, there is the second one. I'm looking for the third one. There you go. So select and turn them off. This is the boss that I want. So again, selecting this boss. Over here you saw, if I set the maximum waves to 1, look at now how the boss is shooting. You see, you can use this right away to create difficulty in your game. So based on if somebody has pressed on the main menu page, he wants the easy or the hard, or the, I don't know, ultra hard, medium, whatever difficulties you have, you can change the waves. And if somebody wants to play ultra hard, you can, set here 20 for the wave, and there you go. Over here, required position is 50. Okay, so fire delay is basically, the delay of the fire. Let me just go here, maximum waves, and set that to 15. And if I go here and change the delay to 1, so the boss is now going to shoot after 1 second. If I go and change the delay here to 4, and by the way, I did not check that. So here, if I go in the fire delay, so let's go shooting. The fire delay, it is a nice name for a variable that you want to use in order to determine, the delay of the fire. So I knew right away from the inspector what this variable was doing, which we, confirmed right now. So again, this is just a brief way how you can go through these projects. And this is my first time going through this project. I did not open it to prepare for this video, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to leave this video as is. I'm not going to edit it and show you like I, went through there. I'm, a wizard and whatnot. And I, knew everything, where it is and how to do it. As I said, this is a brief source code breakdown of a boss fight, which is a really advanced boss fight. So if you go here and activate these two, this is a really advanced boss fight where you can, I don't know how somebody would beat this game, literally, like right now, without, a gazillion power-ups and infinite health that I just said. It's really hard to beat the game, even if you are, the most experienced player ever in the world. But my point is, again, you can go, this is how easy it is to open these source codes and go through them and simply take a look at what's happening and what you can do and all of that stuff and yada, 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 so that you can implement these things in your own games. And by the way, if you want access to this source code and any other, or about 50 or 60 other source code, you can do that inside of my Lazy Game Dev. I will put a link down below, and inside you will find more projects. You will find a MABA project, and I will probably put them in the video here right now. So you will find the MABA project, you will find, I don't know, a AAA game that has more than 5 million downloads on the App Store, which is an RPG story-like game. So you will find that one. So you will find, I don't know, I Saw Zombie, where you have a puzzle game to basically kill zombies and all of that stuff. I'll put these games right here when I'm talking about. If you want access to all of these games and dissect them like I just showed you, and then use this for your own knowledge. First things you will learn from that. Second thing, you will, as I said, you can reuse these systems for your own games. Anyways, if you want access to all of these source codes that you saw on the screen that I put up, hopefully I did not forget, you can do that in Lazy Game Dev. You will have my help dissecting these projects like this, as you just saw. Anyways, click the link below, hit the like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.